Welcome to Sinister Stories, where the shadows hold more than just secrets. If you're a fan of the dark and the twisted, you're in the right place. Tonight, we dive into a tale that will send chills down your spine. Before we begin, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already, so you don't miss a single spine-tingling story. Damn pigeons, I muttered, balancing a fresh light bulb in one hand and a wrench in the other, 40 feet up on a maintenance catwalk above the Golden Gate Bridge. One of y'all craps on me again. I'm gonna lose it. Night shift on the Golden Gate ain't glamorous. It's cold, windy, smells like rust and seaweed, and most nights you don't see another soul for hours. But it's honest work, and after 12 years I could do it blindfolded and backwards. I'm Josiah. Bridge maintenance. Lighting, wiring, surface inspections, the occasional drunk stuck in a railing. I've seen it all. I've had seagulls steal my sandwich, found a raccoon sleeping in my toolbox, and once I even unclogged a drain full of what I swear were human teeth. You learn not to ask questions. Anyway, it was just after 11 p.m. I was replacing a flickering lamp on the south tower. As I got the new bulb screwed in, a gust of wind slapped my face, hard enough to make me cuss, and with it came a scrap of paper. It spun like a leaf, smacked me in the chest, and fluttered down onto the platform. I didn't think much of it, probably some tourist's trash. I stuck it in my back pocket and finished the job. Lunch was a sad ham and cheese, a bag of stale Doritos, and a Red Bull that tasted like battery acid. I sat at my little desk in the maintenance shack, warmed by the space heater that only half worked, and pulled the paper out. Out of boredom more than curiosity, it had 3 lines printed neatly in fading ink. 1. Don't look at the black ship as it passes. 2. Don't bleed into the water. 3. Don't allow fishing off the bridge or around it. I chuckled. What is this? Pirate fan fiction? I crumpled the paper up and sank a perfect shot into the trash can. Kobe. Didn't think about it again until I came back from checking the West cables. The paper was back. Not in the trash. Not wrinkled. It was laying perfectly flat on my desk, right where my logbook should have been. I froze. The heater hummed. The bridge groaned like it always does, wind pushing through its bones. The paper. I picked it up, flipped it over. Same thing. Same rules. This time I folded it and slid it into my coat pocket. Maybe this is one of those initiation pranks the other crews pull. I'd seen it before. Stick a fake rule sheet somewhere and watch the newbie sweat bullets. Problem was, I wasn't the newbie anymore. I was the only one still left from the original night shift crew. Everyone else quit or disappeared. People joke about haunted bridges, but there's one story even the locals won't talk about. The ghost ship of 92. In 1992, a fishing trawler named the Maribel was spotted drifting under the Golden Gate. No lights, no crew. Coast Guard boarded it. Said the deck was clawed to hell, teeth marks in the railings, and blood, lots of blood. No signs of life, just a thick black sludge in the bilge that corroded their boots. The boat vanished from dry dock 2 days later. Some say it still passes through the bay at night, heading out to sea. I always thought it was just a good campfire tale, until the first time I saw it, 2 nights after the paper showed up. It was 2:03 a.m. I was doing a final sweep when I heard music. Faint, like an old gramophone wheezing out sea shanties. I looked out over the water and saw it. A black ship, covered in moss and barnacles. No lights, no engine sound. It drifted like a corpse on the tide, and underneath, shadows. Moving. No, swimming. I stepped back. Creatures, 20 feet long, maybe more, pulling the ship by thick coiled ropes, like ghostly sea serpents, pale and glowing. Around them floated others, smaller spirits, nibbling at the air like minnows. Hungry. I wanted to stare. My brain begged me to. It was like beauty and death combined into one impossible vision. But My hand found the folded paper in my coat, and my legs moved. I turned away, sat down, stared at my boots. When the music stopped, I knew it was gone. That night changed everything. I started enforcing the rules. No tourists, no late-night joggers, and absolutely no fishing. You wouldn't believe how many guys try to toss a line in after midnight. One guy, Earl, ignored me, hooked a weird fish with translucent skin, got a single spine in his thumb and started foaming at the mouth. Died in 9 seconds flat. Another time, a drunk bum wandered up the walkway around 1 a.m. I spotted him leaning over the rail, looking out at the water, eyes glazed. The ship was coming. I ran like hell and tackled him. His eyes were full of saltwater tears and he screamed like I interrupted his wedding. I saved his life. He doesn't remember a damn thing. I do. 12 years. I follow the rules. I survive. But tonight's different. Because I'm training a new kid. And I'm getting promoted. His name's Ricky. Fresh out of high school, still thinks vape smoke makes him look cool. He showed up in cargo pants, a Metallica hoodie, and the kind of overconfidence only teenagers and drunk raccoons seem to possess. "You the guy?" he asked, smirking as he strolled into the maintenance shack, chewing gum like it owed him money. "No," I replied. "I'm just a spooky ghost haunting this bridge, doomed to forever change light bulbs and drink gas station coffee." He blinked. I didn't smile. Eventually, he coughed out a nervous laugh and said, "Cool, cool. So, what do we actually do?" "Keep the bridge from falling apart, keep people from doing dumb things, and survive the night." He laughed again. I didn't. I handed him a clipboard, a flashlight, and a ham sandwich. "Eat now. You won't want to later." "Why not?" "You ever puke ham through your nose while running from a shadow eel the size of a Buick? Not fun." He froze. I sipped my coffee. The first few hours were uneventful. We checked rivets, swapped a fuse box, and shooed away a guy trying to skateboard across the suspension cable. Ricky kept trying to make TikToks. Around 11 p.m., while he was playing with the vending machine and cursing it out for stealing his dollar, I saw it. That damn piece of paper. Folded neatly, right on my desk. I hadn't touched it in weeks. But there it was again, like it had been waiting. I picked it up, unfolded it, and sighed. 1. Don't look at the black ship as it passes. 2. Don't bleed into the water. 3. Don't allow fishing off the bridge or around it. Ricky peeked over my shoulder. "What's that? Some weird work rules?" "Yeah," I said, folding it again and sliding it into his hoodie pocket. "You better memorize it." He snorted. "What's the black ship? Like a boat full of goth kids?" "No, it's full of death." He blinked again. "Come on," I said, grabbing my tool belt. "We got a railing to fix." We were halfway down the east walkway when Ricky stopped. "Hey, did you hear that?" "What?" "That music. Sounds like whistling?" I froze. 2:06 a.m. "Oh no," I muttered. "Not tonight." I yanked him back toward the maintenance shack. He resisted. Wait, look, there's something on the water." "Don't look at it," I barked. He paused. "What? Why not?" "Because if you do, you'll jump off this bridge like it's a slip and slide." He laughed and looked. "Ricky!" I tackled him hard, pinning him to the ground just as his eyes glassed over and his body started twitching. He whispered something, over and over. "Take me home. Take me home. Take me home." I slapped him. Not gently. He blinked. "What the hell just happened? Why are my pants wet?" "You looked," I said. "You almost drowned standing up." I hauled him to his feet and dragged him into the shack, locked the door, closed the blinds. Outside, the music drifted closer, a slow, haunted whistle like wind through broken teeth. I didn't look. I sat in the chair, sipped my coffee, waited. When it was gone, I finally looked at Ricky. He was pale, sweating. His hands wouldn't stop shaking. What was that?" he whispered. "That," I said, "was the Maribel. The ghost ship of 92. Crew died screaming. Boat vanished. Now it rides the tides every night, pulled by dead sea creatures the size of minivans. He didn't say anything. The ship can't touch land, I continued. But its watchers can. Those glowing fish pulling it? They're not just decoration, they're hunters. Beautiful and hungry. They see movement, smell blood, feel curiosity, and they feed. I pointed to the paper still hanging from his pocket. Rule 1, don't look. You'll go into a trance. Rule 2, don't bleed into the water. They smell it. You'll be fish food in seconds. Rule 3, no fishing, ever. People try to catch them. It doesn't end well. Ricky looked like he was about to cry, or puke, or both. I handed him a bottle of water. He downed it like it was holy. I sat back, letting the silence settle in. The bridge creaked. Something tapped on the shack wall. 3 slow knocks, but I ignored it. So, Ricky finally croaked. Why don't you quit? I looked at him, dead serious. Because someone has to stay and enforce the rules. Someone has to stop the drunk fishermen, the curious college kids, the bums who wander up looking for a view. He nodded slowly, then asked the dumbest question yet. So, do they ever come on land? The lights flickered. We both froze. I slowly reached under the desk and clicked on the emergency floodlight. A harsh beam exploded outside, casting long, shaky shadows across the walkway. In that flickering moment, I swear, I saw a long, wet hand slither away from the window. Ricky screamed. I laughed. Welcome to night shift, kid. The next night, Ricky showed up late, pale as drywall and holding a baseball bat. You think that's gonna stop a ghost fish? I asked, sipping my coffee with a smirk. He shrugged. Better than my bare hands. You didn't see that hand. That thing. I did, I replied. 12 years ago. First week on the job. Thought it was a sea otter on steroids. Tried to whack it with a mop. It bit the mop in half and slapped me off the catwalk. He blinked. You serious? Nope. Just messing with you. But you're gonna want to leave that bat behind. Makes you feel brave, which makes you reckless. Reckless people bleed. Ricky didn't argue. He tucked the bat behind a mop bucket and followed me out onto the walkway like a scared puppy. We were fixing a loose panel near the midpoint of the bridge when we ran into a problem. An old man. He was standing at the railing, fishing line cast down into the foggy water below. Gray beard, patched flannel, worn-out boots. One of the bridge's phantom regulars, as I call them. Homeless folks who disappear for months and suddenly reappear like time forgot them. Oh no, I muttered. Not tonight. It was 1:52 a.m. Hey, I called out, marching toward him. No fishing. You gotta reel that in now. He didn't even glance at me, just kept slowly turning the reel. Ricky jogged up behind me, eyes wide. What do we do if he doesn't listen? Pray, I said flatly, and grab him if he looks like he's going to fall. I approached the old man and placed a hand on his shoulder. Sir, I need you to stop fishing. Please. Still no response, but I saw his lip twitch. He was whispering something. I leaned closer. She said she missed me, told me to come with her. I froze. Sir, you need to let go of the pole. She's waiting for me. Then I saw it. His hook wasn't empty. A thin, glowing, serpentine creature floated just beneath the surface. Its mouth wasn't on the front. It was all mouth. A soft spiral of ghostly teeth. And eyes. Dozens of them. Human-like. Staring up at him. It wanted to be caught. Drop it, I said more forcefully. But the old man smiled and stepped onto the railing. No, I shouted, grabbing his arm. The old man didn't resist, but the line tugged, hard. The thing in the water had wrapped around the hook and was pulling him in. I yelled at Ricky. Help me! Together we pulled him back as the line snapped with a sharp crack. The old man hit the ground, unconscious but breathing, and the creature? Gone. No splash, no ripple, just gone. Ricky stared down into the water. Don't, I warned, but he already saw it. The black ship, sailing silently, pulled by its majestic horrors, barely skimming the surface. The deck held figures, skeletal, rotting things in tattered uniforms, manning stations like they still mattered. One of them turned, a skull, but not human, its jaw unhinged. It screamed, but we couldn't hear it, just saw the vibration in the air, the shuddering fog. Ricky's knees gave out. I didn't blame him. I looked away. I always do. And I waited. When the ship passed beneath the bridge, we sat in silence for a long time. I think I saw my mom, Ricky whispered. What? On the deck. I haven't seen her since I was 6. She was there, smiling. She waved at me. I nodded slowly. It knows what you want, I said. It offers it, but it lies. It always lies. Ricky looked at the old man, still unconscious. What do we do with him? We let him sleep it off in the shack. If he remembers anything tomorrow, I'll be shocked. Back at the maintenance shack, Ricky curled up in the corner, blanket over his head like a terrified child. I didn't blame him. I sat at the desk sipping coffee, reading over the logbook. I added a new entry. March 23rd, 1:58 a.m. Intercepted fisherman. Attempted suicide via line possession. One glimpse of the Maribel. Ricky looked again. Recommend trauma counseling. Then I looked at the paper. Still there. Neat. Clean. No dust. It never ages. I thought about burning it once. Tried, actually. Caught fire. But the words didn't burn. They floated in the air like glowing ash. Then, minutes later, the page was back on my desk, untouched. I've stopped trying. These rules? They're not suggestions. They're bindings. Maybe even warnings from the ones who came before me. Now, it's my turn to pass them on. One more week, and I'm gone. Management offered me a desk job, daylight hours, benefits, no ghost ships. Ricky doesn't know yet. I've been easing him in, showing him the little things. What sounds are safe, what shadows aren't. How to keep the heater humming so the shack doesn't freeze inside out when the ship passes. It's all part of the ritual. He'll be ready, I think. Ricky didn't show up the next night. Didn't call, didn't text, didn't even have the decency to leave a "sorry, got possessed by sea demons, back soon" sticky note. I figured he bailed. Wouldn't blame him. I brewed 2 coffees anyway, left his mug out just in case. Sometimes the bridge gets into your head, but if you fight through that first week and make it back, you've got a shot. 1 a.m. I was checking bolts under the west end when I heard footsteps. Thought you ran off, I called out without turning around. I almost did. I spun. Ricky looked like hell. Eyes bloodshot, hoodie soaked, one sneaker missing. You okay? Nope. He slumped down beside me and handed me something. It was the paper, crumpled, burnt at the edges, still legible. You tried to burn it? I asked. He nodded. Didn't work. It came back, in my bathtub. I laughed. That's a new one. Mine showed up in my cereal once. He looked up, pale and serious. Why me? Why give me this job? I sighed, leaning back against the cold steel. Because I saw you watching the water last week, before the ship came. You were already drawn to it. Better to train someone who's seen it, felt it. You're not pretending it's just a story anymore. You believe now. He didn't say anything for a while. Then softly, my mom's been dead for 13 years. I know that. But when I saw her on that ship, she looked real. Like warm. Real. I nodded. It hurts, I said. They always do. The ship shows you who you miss most, or what you hate the most. Sometimes both. That's how it gets in your head. He swallowed. So what did you see? When you looked the first time? I paused. An old friend. Guy who trained me. Ron. We used to joke about the ghost ship, back when we didn't believe in it. One night he looked, just once. Walked off the bridge humming barefoot. They never found the body. Ricky shuddered. We sat in silence for a bit, listening to the bridge moan in the wind like it always does. The sound's easy to ignore once you're used to it. Not tonight. Tonight the air had a different pitch. Higher, sharper. They're early, I muttered. 2:07 a.m. That was always the time. Never before, never after. But tonight, I heard the whistle. That haunting, beautiful melody like old sailors crying out through a foghorn. Then came the cold. Not wind. Cold. Like the air forgot how to carry warmth. Ricky stood. I stood with him. Out in the fog, the water started glowing. Faint outlines. Like dolphins. But not. Too long. Too wrong. The ship surfaced slowly like it was rising from a grave. The hull dragged water and fog with it. Black moss clinging to its sides. Ropes creaked beneath it, pulled taut by creatures whose glowing fins cut through the bay like underwater blades. The crew. God. They were lined up at the rail this time. Skeletons with seaweed cloaks, barnacles for eyes, some still wearing tattered uniforms from a forgotten century. And on the bow, a figure. Tall, human-shaped, but its skin rippled like waves. Face shifting, blurring, becoming faces from your mind. It turned toward us. Ricky whimpered. I see her again. Don't look. I can't help it. I turned to him, grabbed his face. Look at me. His eyes fluttered. The trance was taking hold. Ricky, snap out of it. What's rule 1? He blinked. Don't look at the black ship. Exactly. You look, you dive. You dive, you die. Behind us, the ship groaned. The water boiled. I could feel it in my bones. A scream, not from the ship, but from above. A fisherman, hiding behind a pillar, casting a line. He was reeling something in. No, no, no! I shouted, sprinting. Too late. The line snapped upward like a whip, and something large and translucent launched from the water, coiling midair and wrapping around the man's legs. He didn't even scream again, just vanished into the fog. Gone. Ricky fell to his knees. I thought we were safe up here. No one's safe, I muttered. That's the point. The rules don't protect you. They guide you, keep you invisible. Break one. They notice. The ship was moving again, sliding back into the fog like it never existed. Ricky stayed on his knees, staring at the railing. Hey, I said, nudging him. Get up. We gotta finish our shift. I can't. Yes, you can. He stood, legs wobbling. I handed him a flashlight. He stared at it like it was a sword. Why me? He asked again. Because, I said, in a week, I'm gone. He looked at me, eyes wide. I got promoted. Some corporate gig out in Sacramento. Daylight hours. Air conditioning. No ghost fish. Ricky didn't speak for a long time. Then he whispered, Don't leave me alone with that thing. You won't be alone, I replied. You'll have the rules. He didn't look reassured, but he nodded. One more night to train. My last night on the Golden Gate Bridge felt like a funeral, and a graduation rolled into one. I packed my stuff early. Tool belt, thermos, lucky wrench with the chipped handle. Left the old radio behind. It only picks up static after midnight anyway. Sometimes whispers too. But I never told Ricky that. He showed up right on time, looking like he'd aged 10 years in 7 days. Which was about right. Got your sandwich? I asked. Ham and mustard, he nodded. Good. Don't eat after 1 a.m. You puke, you mop it. We ran the usual circuit, tightened cables, secured a rusted panel, chased off a couple of college kids trying to film a ghost hunting video. The usual. At 12:55 a.m., I handed him a small metal box. What's this? He asked. Spare flashlight, spare batteries, pocket knife, holy water. He blinked. Seriously? Never hurts, I said. Also peanut butter crackers, in case you get hungry or need to bribe a raccoon. He gave a tired laugh. Then he got serious. Why does it come here? The ship? Why the bridge? I leaned against the railing and thought for a minute. Some say the Maribel sank nearby. Some say it was cursed long before it ever hit the water. Personally, I think this bridge is a vein. A vein? Yeah, a major artery. Connects land to land, heart to heart. People die here. Lots of them. Suicide jumpers, accidents, even construction workers back when it was built. That kind of pain leaves a mark. Ricky looked out into the fog. What do we do when it comes tonight? I handed him the paper, creased, yellowed but still intact. You follow the rules. You follow them always. No exceptions. He nodded, folding it carefully and tucking it in his front pocket. 2:11 a.m. The air got still. No breeze, no birds. Even the cars above us seemed to vanish. I tapped his shoulder and pointed toward the bay. He didn't look, just crouched down and covered his ears. Good kid. The ship passed silently this time. No music, no crew screaming. Just a heavy, bone-deep pressure, like the bridge itself was holding its breath. The glowing creatures swam in graceful spirals beneath the surface. Around them, smaller spirits zipped and swirled, looking for something to feed on. One stopped below us, hovered. It looked up. I knew it couldn't see me. I hadn't broken a rule, but I swear, it felt like it did. I didn't move. I didn't breathe. And after a moment, it glided away. The ship continued on, fading into the fog. Ricky stood up, shaking. I didn't look, he whispered. I didn't look. You did good, I said. We walked back to the shack, packed up the last of our tools. Ricky sat down at the desk and opened the logbook. He flipped through the pages, scrawled notes, frantic entries, and little drawings from those who came before him. Then he looked up at me. How long did it take before it stopped scaring you? I paused, then gave him a small smile. Still waiting. We shook hands. I took one last glance around the bridge. The catwalks, the steel bones, the red towers fading into the clouds. I had survived it. 12 years of horrors. Whispers, screams, glowing teeth in the dark. And I made it out. Not because I was brave, because I followed the rules. As I crossed the lot and got into my truck, I looked back one final time. Ricky stood at the railing, not looking at the water, just standing tall, wind tugging at his hoodie, a flashlight clipped to his belt, and the paper clenched in his hand. He was ready, but behind him, deep in the mist, I thought I saw a shape, a woman's face, smiling, reaching. I rolled down the window and shouted, "Hey!" He turned around. Good. The fog swallowed the face whole. I started the engine. As I drove away, I whispered to myself, "Don't look at the black ship. Don't bleed into the water. Don't allow fishing." I didn't look back, not even once.